Like-minded folks from across the country have since been organizing as a group called Researchers Against War. In universities from Massachusetts to New York to California, we discuss how our labor as students performing research contributes to the war machine, profiting off of genocide and violence. Fundamental research in a field like mine is often seen as inherently neutral and apolitical. The labor we perform contributes to research ideas that may not be economically relevant or practical until decades later. However, this is the research that is by and large directed and funded by the Department of Defense. They outline their interests in basic research for future weapon systems, surveillance, and other military interests. They have rights to technology developed by student workers, included stuff like robot dogs that have been tested by the Israeli military for violence against Palestinians that were developed by students at UPenn. It is imperative that we understand and make this relationship between academic workers and the DoD abundantly clear so that we can assess the global and inherently political implications of our work. It is our right and an act of solidarity with Palestinians to refuse contributions to the military. When we take a stand to challenge the status quo, we can wield our power for change towards liberation. We hold the power as workers, as students, to cause disruption to these oppressive structures. How do we know that we have the power? Well, across the country, we're seeing armed police and riot gears come onto our campuses. Invited by administrations that care more about the finances of their trustees than the voices of students chanting peacefully from our lawns. They fear our voices because they fear that we know the truth. As Palestinians continue to suffer famine and death in Gaza as I speak, it is vital that our civil liberties for speech and protest are protected as we see the increase in criminalization and repression of student activists. Following our mass arrest by NYPD, a solidarity pledge sent out by my local 2710 received broad support from UAW Region 9A. As well as signatures from over 50 unions and organizations across the U.S., as well as 800 plus individual members in support of academic freedom. I stand here to thank everyone who supported this pledge, showing our collective strength, and everyone here who continues to fight with Palestinians whose lives and freedom we cannot forget are central to this movement. Necessary for every struggle, and the direct attack on this right is an attack on labor as well. Injury to one is an injury to all. As workers, students, and community members, this is our time to stand together. Divestment now, solidarity forever, and free Palestine. Thank you.
Speakers are from Yale's of Palestine. Give it up for Naeem and Yasmin. Before they come up, Naeema and Yasmin will be surrounded by student activists across Connecticut from the CT Students for Palestine Coalition, led by Batya from Wesleyan SJP. So we're going to ask our students to come up.
Over 20 years where college campuses all over the country are rising up at the exact same time. It is because the young people know that movements begin with us. We are at the forefront, and administrations know that. They are deeply afraid of the young people disrupting the status quo. Keeps them in power, benefiting off of the ongoing genocide in Palestine, among numerous other global atrocities, such as resource extraction and the prison industrial complex. Shame!
Yale is afraid of its own students. On Friday, when the Yale trustees met to discuss the new president of the university, we turned to face them. We chanted our demands, they brought in police, and they went out the back. We are students who spent the past weeks building bookshelves and knowledge and solidarity and community, and they are afraid of us. They are afraid of what we may build.
Cowardly, the administration attempts to manipulate and intimidate us into silence and fear. This is, of course, not a surprise. From a university that is not ashamed to profit from bombs dropped on children and schools and hospitals. We must recenter and refocus. We are here for Gaza and for Palestine.
And as we continue in this movement, we remember that these are liberation struggles built from love. We are in opposition to institutions and corporations and people who build themselves from death and destruction. The most inspiring part amidst so much destruction is seeing how the people, how we come together. We are stronger together. Last week we created beautiful spaces of love and strength. We mourned, we yelled, we danced, we sang, we cried, and we laughed together.
From Yale to New Haven to Palestine, collective and communal fights for liberation are the way we will all be free. Free, free Palestine!
Free, free Palestine!
Free, free, free Palestine!
Free, free, free Palestine!
Free, free Palestine!
Free, free Palestine!
Free, free, free Palestine!
Free, free, free Palestine!
Give it up for our student leaders! So we had plans to surround our student leaders from UConn, from Columbia, and from Yale with representatives from over a dozen Connecticut schools who are doing work to support Palestine and demand justice for Palestinians. Give it up. But we got a little scattered on the way here because there's so many people. So instead we're gonna do a roll call. So if you're a current student or an alum of the school that I'm gonna say, I want you to give a cheer as loud as you can, okay? Let's start with UConn. Who's here from UConn? Let's hear it for Yale. Let's hear it for Wesleyan. Let's hear it for MCC. Gateway. SCSU. Western Connecticut State University. Eastern Connecticut State University. Central Connecticut State University. Quinnipiac University. And I know I missed some, so give it up if I didn't call you. We're going to take up the space. We are part of this student movement together.